Now, I know that people don't like, generally I don't like to be talked to in a concert. I come to hear music, and so I'm going to keep it brief. Again, I'm Dan Broadwater, kind of chaired this whole thing to make it happen, but not without a lot of help. Appreciate all the volunteers who are around here. Some of them have these little red tags. So if you got any questions, you can see one of these people, and they will direct you in the right area. But I know a lot of you are here just for the music and Robin Mark. And he's got like 15 albums and about 2 million records. Everybody knows him in Europe. Everybody sings his songs, at least contemporary music, in the churches, but nobody seems to know this guy. I mean, take a look, see his face, and now you know Robin Mark. So some great stuff. All original music and really some great content, and what he's done for us is enormous, to give us something to think about in his lyrics. Also, some of you are here specifically because you know about the orphans in Liberia and how our church got involved in when a family joined our church in 2007. And we heard the story of 1 million people displaced out of about a third of the population in Liberia. Liberia was started by the United States as a country, basically. A lot of the slaves were released to go back home and form this country there in Africa, Central Africa. But for about 14 years during the 90s and into the 2000s, 1 million people got displaced, 250,000 killed. We have one family joined our church, began to learn the names of kids running the streets. Some of our friends in the community and members of our church started sending money, buy bowls of rice. Next thing you know, we had this orphanage. 50 kids sponsored. Some of you were sponsoring the kids, some of our friends in the community. So there are 50 kids living in a home there in Liberia. Next thing you knew, we had a school. In the last few years, it's grown to 1,000 students and 30 staff, all sponsored by a church of about 80 members. And you can do a lot over there with a little bit of money. About $50,000 or $60,000 a year can run a school like that. But anyway, I'll just give me another 45 seconds. But because those kids, they don't have anybody to talk for them. Unemployment is 85% in Liberia. 85%. On the economic misery scale, it's the second worst place to live in the world. You can't find a job. There's nothing to do. Not a lot to do, but you can't earn anything. Can't do anything. Economy's completely destroyed. So a lot of orphanages cropping up just like this one. And we're trying to help. So some of you, if you want to do something special, you've already done it by giving your $10 or whatever you did for the great concert. And the great concert, worth more than $10, I'd tell you that. And we're going to pass these buckets out here in a minute. And we're not trying to badge you for your money. If your heart's moved to help some orphans, 100% goes to the orphans and the teachers. They work $50 a month they make on average, and they work double shifts, teaching the kids who are like 18 to 35 at night and the kids who are like below 18 during the day. It's a K through 12 school. We graduated 19 kids. Every one of them passed this year the Central African test it's like an SAT, and scored the highest in the area. And the previous year was our first graduating class of 18 students. And these kids actually have a chance to do something, maybe find one of those jobs, 1 out of 10 or 2 out of 10. They might get that job. So if you want to do something more serious, there's a credit card tables up here. Actually, you can do a credit card thing if you want to go online at some point when you go home, grpca.org, or see somebody and get a card. But right now we're just going to pass the hat, and hopefully it'll cover the cost of the concert. But hopefully somebody will do something special and bless these kids. 100% of the money goes right to the site. And the director, by the way, there is a member of our church. She's a Liberian, native Liberian, and she has dual citizenship. And she calls me like 3 times a week, and we have talks about what's happening in the school. So thank you. We're glad you're here, and hope you enjoy the rest of the concert with Rob and Mark. But right now, we're going to circulate some buckets, or if you, there's also, you can see what they are. So thank you for your time. Since our bucket people have never done this, I think there they go. They're smarter than I thought. So that's great. A lot of young people volunteered to help out. So, and I think while they're circulating, I don't know if we're having a real break, but as long as the band's not here, the buckets are coming. And also, by the way, if you haven't noticed, most of you know there's bathrooms, or real bathrooms over there, not just the spotter pots. And there's food up there. It's sold real cheap, and all that goes back to the Lorm and anything you buy there. So, thank you.